College football kicks off this Saturday, and in the state of Alabama, big game down in Montgomery, the Jacksonville State University game. Cox going against Stephen F. Austin. We with one of Jacksonville State's star defensive players, Savante, but we call him Tay Tullis. Tay, how are you doing?
I'm doing well this morning.
Man, appreciate you taking some time with us. You've got a busy day today. You've got meetings this morning, final preparations, and then you guys head to Montgomery this afternoon to take on Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks. And you're probably looking forward to this game for a number of reasons. First of all, it means that camp's over and you're into the season. And as any player or coach will tell you, we couldn't wait for camp to start, but then we couldn't wait for camp to get over with so we could get into the games. And against Stephen F. Austin, you actually had a big game against these guys last year.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 tackles, and I believe that was your career high. So you got to be excited against going against these guys again this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you, Tay, now you came to Jacksonville from Ashford High School right outside of Dothan, Alabama. You were an all-sun performer last year, and your preseason all-sun this year. You went through a coaching change last year during the season. Coach Rich Rodriguez has come in, kind of refocused y'all. Some of the culture in the program has changed. A lot of the great things that y'all were doing, he's kept. He's just put a little different twist on it. What do you see is the biggest difference between Coach Rich Rodriguez and Coach John Gross and the previous coaching staff?
One of the things that I see is everyone actually being bought into the system. Like Coach Rich Rod is a player's coach. Like he's for the player, but he's for the program actually. So everyone in the program, everyone is held to the same standard, and he's brought in this hard edge mentality. So the mindset of the staff, the players, and the program just have a hard edge mentality.
Okay. All right. Now, Tay, again, you've had a lot of highlights during your time at Jax State, gone a long way into the playoffs, come up a little bit short from that national championship that you all won. And now Jacksonville State's in a transitional period going into conference, leaving the ASUN and going into Conference USA. And it's got to be exciting to be a part of that. Have you noticed any difference in preparation and things like that, things that are happening around the program through this Division I transition?
Well, first around campus, I can just see the amount of students that have grown and came to the university, and with the program, it's just like it's being ran.
Well, it's kind of a different when you're at a different level of football. You have to have different things. You have to have different support staff. You have to have more people, and I'm sure you're seeing a lot of faces on campus that you weren't seeing just a few months ago.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I really like with our strength and conditioning staff. Like now we have a lot of graduated assistants at every rack, so they make sure all of our reps are like everything is done. The first and last rep is done the same.
Right. And people who haven't seen the inside of these type programs, there's a difference from when you step up from high school to college, no matter what the level, whether it be a Division II or 1AA program or Division I. And even within these different programs, you see changes as you make these different steps up. And as you said, you've noticed that, all around the program and in the facility. And speaking of the facility, now you guys, unfortunately, you won't get to play in it, but Jacksonville State is building new facilities. The stadium is being enhanced. And again, that's got to create an excitement around you guys this year.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's been a long time coming in. Since I've been coming in, that's been a facility that's been promised to us, and I won't get to experience it. But for me, my job, I feel like, is to go out and perform and help us and lead us to a winning season so the younger guys can experience that. And I'm not a selfish guy. So as long as they get to see it, I'm just family of Jacksonville State. So I'll come back and visit and see how it is and still just be here supporting them throughout all their time.
And knowing that you were part of the foundation that made that possible.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, being a senior, you came in and you've been you've been a very effective in dominant player as you've gotten on into your career. Talk about the leadership now that you feel. You talked about that you're not going to be able to play in that brand new facility that you've seen on the drawing board since you've been there. But these younger guys, they are going to get to play in that. Talk about the leadership that you've been showing to these younger guys and what you're trying to instill in them so they can carry on legacies such as your class has.
Well, one of the first things is just the mentality, and the same thing that I said Coach Richrod has instilled in us is the hard edge mentality. You have to be just a dog on the field. So for the younger guys, I try to show them that it is important to work early on because everything that you do is important. Like, even if it doesn't show up right now, later on in the future, it'll show. Just as for myself, I did a lot of work in the past that it didn't feel like was showing at that time, but now the time that it's going to show.
Mm-hmm. Tay, when you first set foot on the campus of Jacksonville State and you thought, I've got my whole career ahead of me, and now as it starts to wind down, your final season, it went by fast, didn't it?
It did. It was just a blink of an eye.
Okay. Well, again, kicking off tomorrow against Stephen F. Austin in what we, of course, hope is going to be a fantastic season for you personally and for the Gamecocks. And we can't wait to see you on that field tomorrow and throughout the year. And, of course, we'll catch up with you again in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to give it all I got.
Tay Tullis, Jacksonville State Gamecocks.